Hey everyone, this is Chris Keys for Premier Guitar, hanging out at the Ryman Auditorium with Whitey Morgan. Whitey, how you doing?
Great, man. Great.
Thank you so much. I believe this is your first time playing here, or first time headlining?
It is, man. Been wanting to play this place for as long as I can remember.
Well, welcome to the Mother Church.
Yeah, man. It's good to be here.
Cool. Enough of the formalities. Let's dive into guitar talk, man.
Let's talk some guitars.
I want to dive into the first one that I've always associated with you is with your initials on it. What Telecaster is that? And talk to me about how you kind of got that to be your number one.
Well, this thing started out, it was a black and white single bound telly. I probably bought this maybe 15 years ago.
Damn.
And I got over the black and white real quick, and I wanted this like a tobacco burst, which has always been my favorite. And I just took it apart, sanded it down, and I used to do custom paint cars and stuff, so it was pretty easy. I just put a little fade on that thing and did a little pinstriping on there, which kind of turned out shitty, but it looks pretty cool. This is about the fourth neck that's been on it, because I used to like the vintage style frets, but they just would wear so quick. I mean, we were playing 300 days a year, and so this one finally I went with stainless, and this neck's been on here for probably 4 years now. All
the four necks that you've gone through, have they always been maple necks, maple boards?
Yeah, I'm not much of a rosewood guy. I like the pop of the maple. But yeah, it's a fender body. This is a warmouth neck on it.
And I saw online a lot of people are asking about tone and stuff, and like if you're willing to change out pickups. And it looks like you got some Seymour Duncans in there. Is that something you've had for a while, or is that something you just got put in there?
These actually, a guy up in Michigan wound these for me.
Oh, all right.
I can't even remember his name. It's been at least 4 years. But what's cool is it's like a standard hot rail, but it's got the push pull for the, if you want the single coil sound.
Cool.
Which I find myself leaving it on the humbucker almost all the time.
Get it cooking.
Yeah, it's just got more body, especially like on these bigger theater stages where you just want it to fill up a little more.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it hasn't been messed with in a while, but I'm always up for changing stuff out. I'm pretty fickle. I got a lot of different amps. I switch out guitars a lot, but this thing's been the mainstay, I guess, for a lot of 15 years now. This thing.
And what's behind the headstock there and it looks on the IE?
That's just it's a banjo tuner. Just kind of stole that from Waylon.
Yeah.
We got a lot of songs that are in drop D, and it's just easy. It's got the 2 locking nuts there, and it's actually a Bill Keith. Schaller makes one, but this Bill Keith one has stood up for probably 6 or 7 years now. The Schallers, I went through like 3 of them in probably 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I finally paid the big bucks for this one, and it stood the test of time. It works great. Takes a little getting used to. A lot of my guys that have tried to tune it, they're like, they can't, because it's super, the ratio. I mean, you barely turn
really
it,
finicky.
and you got to really have the touch. But once you get used to it, man, I love it, and it's just the ease of being able to, in the middle of the show, just boom,
right down.
Yeah, and it looks cooler than that big old stupid, what do they call those things?
Yeah,
it's just, I don't know, not my style.
And what strings do you run? Gauge and brand?
On this guitar, these are just regular Ernie Ball 11s.
Okay.
Nothing special about it. Just for the number one, because for all the regular tuned stuff. I've got some other ones that are drop tuned with the big fat strings on them.
How did you get into the Telecaster world? Obviously associated with, you already alluded to Waylon and any of the other country pickers, but what, aside from being a country instrument, what got you into the Telecaster world and keeps you there?
It was probably like that. Like I said, Waylon, and I was playing acoustic for a while. I mean, I'd always played electric, but when I started doing the country thing, I started out doing it acoustically, and I just found myself wanting to play more and to do more on stage. And the acoustic just never really cut through. It never just had the balls.
Yeah.
And I was like, I come from a rock and roll background, so eventually I just grabbed the telly, and the telly, it's the workhorse, man.
Yeah.
You can take it on the road. This case can get 105 degrees, and you pull them out, and they might not be perfect, but you can make slight adjustments, and they'll be right back to where they were. Now, if this thing was full of Les Pauls or, one-piece guitars, you're in fucking nightmare land all day long. This thing, I mean, this neck got put on after a sound check. We were playing an arena show, opening for Bob Seger, and the frets on my old one were so bad, I was so sick of just listening to it all night. The intonation was terrible.
Yeah.
I had this neck, it got shipped, and I was gonna wait till the next day when we had a day off to swap it.
Have some time.
I had a guitar tech buddy of mine from Elderly Instruments in Lansing, Michigan, and he did the neck switch over from between sound check and our set, which was only like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And he goes in there, swaps it out. It's played great ever since. It's crazy. Bob Seger's guitar techs were like, he's gonna do what? He's gonna on your number one telly, he's gonna swap that neck out in an hour and a half. I'm like, yeah, well, this guy's good, man. You know.
You'll see.
But yeah, it's been a great guitar. It's taken some tumbles. Joey's missed it a couple of times when I've thrown it to him. But that's the great thing. Neck fucks up, you just put a new one on it.
I mean, there's a reason they haven't really changed too much on it in 60 plus years.
Yeah, like I said, man, that's the workhorse right there.
Cool. Let's start going down the line.
All right. So that's the main one. I don't really get into the other guitars too much. I've got one that's tuned to C sharp that I use for one song.
What song's that?
Waiting Around to Die.
Oh.
It's usually at the end of the night. It's because it's tuned to C sharp, and I play the little acoustic part, but I play it on that because to have an acoustic guitar drop to C sharp on stage would be a nightmare to keep.
I was going to ask about that solo in that song because I didn't know if it was like a Nashville tuning or like a mandolin.
Well, no,
it was like really
piercing. That's Joey on. He's playing like a gut string or a nylon string.
Yeah,
I think
it's really identifiable.
I'm not sure
or at least
which we used in the studio there, but yeah.
Cool.
Oh yeah, that solo's killer. He killed that thing. So this one is going to turn into number 2. Fender just sent me this. This is one of their the American Original series. It's a '62 reissue. Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing this. I had this set up with like the big beefy strings on it. The whole guitar's dropped to D, so that when I need to, I can drop it to C.
Yeah.
I got a couple of songs on the new record where it's some low, twangy stuff, and so this will end up being number 2. There's like 4 or 5 songs that'll end up being played with this one.